Have you ever heard the saying, success is when opportunity meets preparation? From my experience, this is a determined thief's motto as well. So street, travel, enthusiastic photographers, listen up. This one is for you. Today, I'm going to be sharing my top 7 principles for staying safe on the streets as a photographer. Let's go. 1. Ask yourself, but can you carry it? This is a question I often ask myself before I leave the house with the gear I plan on using. On the streets, you don't want to be carrying too much stuff. Too much weight slows you down, and it's also easier to lose or damage something if you're trying to juggle too many things at once. My go-to carry formula is 1 camera, 1 lens, a fanny pack or backpack, and an extra roll or 2 of film. Take off. 2. Tupac said it best. All eyes on me. Always pay attention to who's paying attention to you. Keep your head on a swivel. Keeping your head on a swivel is important when you're on the street. Observe who's around you, who's walking alongside you, and who's giving off bad vibes. It'll be easier to avoid these people and get away from them if you spot them fast. In the past, I've caught some unwanted attention photographing on the street. One tactic I use when this happens is to duck into cafes or stores. On days I don't feel like being bothered or ducking off somewhere, I full on stop and stare right back at the person who's making me uncomfortable. This is me letting them know that I see them and I'm like, what's up? I found that the directness of me blatantly looking at them and acknowledging them often makes them feel uneasy, like, oh shoot, she's looking at me like, she understands what I'm on. And I understand what you're on. And I'm on the same time, my friend, especially if I've stopped to give you my attention. This also relays that, if they keep being weird, we're gonna have a real problem. And most people I have found are non-confrontational. Even thieves don't really want to have a conversation before they've robbed you. So, make them uncomfortable too, if you want to go about it that way. Plus, when you stop and look at somebody in the face, you get a good view of them so you can give a detailed description if you have to give a detailed description to a police officer later on. 3, if your gear isn't for sale, don't advertise it. Congratulations, you have a camera. It's a nice one. Looks expensive. But the last thing you want to do is flaunt it on the streets like it's the Bugatti of cameras. Even a clueless person can see when something looks pricey or valuable to someone else. When you stop to take a rest or to get a drink of water, get some lunch, put the camera away. Don't put it on the bench, don't put it on the table, don't put it on the step beside you like it's on display. Put it away. 4, cars aren't safety zones. In the real world, we're not going around playing freeze tag, okay? There are no safe zones on the streets for your gear. So stop thinking of your car as a place to store your camera and your gear. Leaving your stuff on the seat in plain sight is easy money for a thief. It's nothing to smash a rock, brick, crowbar, etc. through a window. I live in LA and I cannot tell you how many times I have seen shattered glass on the ground where a car was once parked or is currently parked. It's terrible. You hate to see it, but I see it way too often. If you have to leave your gear in your car, put it in the trunk or the boot, as my international friends would say. But do not leave it on the seat in the car. But also still understand and realize that a motivated thief will find a way to break into your trunk as well. I've seen it. I'm telling you, thieves are motivated, okay? Don't help them out. There are no safe zones on the streets. 5, loop-de-loop, my friends, loop-de-loop. Always keep your camera secured on your body when walking around on the streets. More often than not, my camera strap is wrapped around my arm as I hold the camera in hand as I'm working a scene or working the streets and action is popping off. But in between shooting, I like to keep my camera strapped across my body, just making it more difficult for someone to just reach and try to, take it, try to tug it. And I like feeling like it's on me, it makes me feel, makes me feel more secure. But yeah, when I'm working a scene, it's pretty busy, lots of actions happening. I have my camera strap wrapped around my wrist a few times, and I also have the camera in hand the entire time. So good luck trying to get that off me. We could tussle. Some people like to loop their camera around their neck in the classic fashion. Do you? That's also a good way of carrying the camera. For me, I just find that my neck gets a bit sore just having the camera hang like that, but whatevs. I do not advise you just wrap your camera around one arm. This is not secure at all. It's too easy to just walk by and swipe that joker. So, you know, go for the crossbody, go for the loop around the arm, or go for full on over the neck to secure your camera on your person. 6, do not gamble with sketchy scenes. Everyone's always looking for unique scenes and shots on the streets, but don't take the risk if you come across a scene that looks way too sketchy and unsafe. What are we doing here? This basically means don't isolate yourself and wander down alleys alone. Just say no to empty tunnels, sketchy streets, train tracks, or underground roadways. When you're alone, you're an easy target. It's also harder to receive help in these types of environments, so don't put yourself in this position. 7, to piggyback off of 6, buddy system. I always encourage photographers to shoot on the streets with a friend. It's always good to have an extra set of eyes and someone to watch your back. More so if you're shooting at night. Plus, the saying safety in numbers is true. It's much harder to steal from a group of people versus one person. So when possible, invite a friend or friends along to shoot on the streets. Quick recap. Ask yourself, can you run with all the gear you're carrying on the street? If not, you gotta offload some stuff, partner. All eyes on me. Pay attention to who's paying attention to you. So important. Don't advertise your stuff if you're not selling it. Put your gear away if you're not shooting it. There are no safety zones. Cars will not protect your gear from getting stolen, especially if they are in visual sight outside the car. Loop-de-loop. Secure your camera on your person at all times on the street. Make it difficult for someone to just snatch and grab your camera. I'm telling you, loop-de-loop. Don't gamble with sketchy scenes. If you get a feeling like, oh shoot, I shouldn't be here, chances are you shouldn't be there. Do not proceed. Back it up, turn around. There's another scene, probably way more interesting, that you will not get robbed at. Go there. Buddy system. A friend in need is a friend indeed. So take your friends on your shoots. It'll better prevent you from getting robbed. The more the merrier sometimes. Despite the threat of thieves on the streets, I can't stay off of myself. I'm still gonna go out to the streets to shoot. If street photography is your vibe, use my 7 principles to stay safe on the streets and protect your gear. And if you have some tried and true tips of your own for staying safe on the streets, please list them down below and share as we can all benefit from your knowledge. My father has a saying that I've never forgot. He has a lot of sayings, but this one in particular has always stuck with me as I have moved around a lot. And the saying is, there's always someone out there looking for a sucker. So please do your best not to become someone's sucker. If you like this video, please make sure to hit that like button and I will see y'all in the next one. All right, everybody. Peace.